Monsters and Kaiju fans, behold, the universe is blessing us with new upcoming Godzilla flicks, which means movies and series ranging from maybe late this year or early in 2026 up to 2027. There will be 5 confirmed cinematic works and also 2 unconfirmed ones, which have a strong chance of becoming a reality. So tighten in your jock straps as we showcase the G-flicks that are on the way. Let's begin! We begin here with a sequel to Godzilla Minus One. So Toho has officially announced a sequel to Godzilla Minus One, which is being made. This new film is expected to come out in 2026, although there is no exact release date yet. The director and writer of the original film, Takashi Yamazaki, is returning to the fray to work on the sequel. He's already writing a script and drawing the storyboards, which are the visual plans on how the movie will look. A top executive at Toho, Koji Ueda, told Bloomberg that the sequel could be ready as early as next year, meaning 2026, and most probably a December release. And also, industry insiders believe that filming might begin around the middle of 2025 in order to make that deadline possible, but be prepared for a 2027 release, which is the worst case scenario. So far, no official plot details have been leaked or released, but since the first film took place right after World War II, the sequel would probably continue in the same time period, maybe a little bit afterwards, showing how Japan is still recovering from World War II and is at the same time dealing with the new threat, Godzilla. However, Yamazaki has hinted at new powerful enemies that may show up in the sequel. Fans are especially excited about this rumor, and maybe they're thinking Mechagodzilla might appear, or maybe Yamazaki would follow suit with the Showa trend and then introduce and gear us to the sequel, just like Godzilla Raids Again came after Godzilla 1954. The mecha theory would be based upon the fact that Yamazaki is also designing a theme park that includes Mechagodzilla, which could be connected to the movie. Right now, though, nothing is confirmed. There is no trailer or official artwork for the sequel yet, but it won't be long because the movie will be released next year. Next, we have the second season for Monarch Legacy of Monsters. Apple TV Plus confirmed in April 2024 last year that a popular series, which is part of the Monsterverse franchise that includes Godzilla and Kong Skull Island, will return for a second season. The announcement came as part of the bigger deal with Legendary Entertainment, which also includes plans for multiple Monsterverse spin-off shows. The creative team behind the show, who is Chris Black and the comic book writer Matt Fraction, are continuing their work on the series along with producers from both Legendary and Toho, the original studio behind Godzilla. Actually, filming for season 2 had finished wrapping up this March, which means that the cast and crew finished shooting all the episodes. Although Apple hasn't announced a specific release date yet, most people believe it will premiere sometime in 2026. There was a rumor that the show would be releasing the second season in late 2025, but now when you think about it, 2026 would be more likely. The story of season 2 will pick up where season 1 left off. So the show actually followed 2 siblings who discover that their family has deep, hidden ties to Monarch, a secret organization that has been tracking giant titans for decades. Season 1 jumped between timelines in the 1950s to the modern era, using both Kurt Russell and his real-life son Wyatt Russell to portray the same character, Lee Shaw, but at different ages. In season 2, the siblings would probably continue to uncover the truth about their family's connection to Monarch while facing new threats. Fans can expect more monster action, and the showrunner, Chris Black, has hinted that famous monsters like Kong could have a bigger role this time, but a decreasing role for Godzilla. Most of the main cast is returning and new characters will be introduced. There is also talk for spin-offs being developed in the same universe, with Chris Black reportedly writing one of them, ensuring the continuity and the tone of the series or the Monsterverse stays consistent. So while Monarch is the series, the film is Godzilla Kong Supernova. This is the upcoming big-budgeted sequel to Godzilla Kong The New Empire, and would be the next chapter in Legendary Pictures' Monsterverse saga. This will be the 3rd time Godzilla and Kong would share the same screen in this franchise, and it is set to hit theaters on March 26, 2027. The movie is currently in production, with filming having started back in April in Queensland, Australia. This time there is a new director at the helm, Grant Sputore, who previously directed the sci-fi thriller I Am Mother. He is taking over from Adam Wingard, who directed Godzilla vs. Kong and The New Empire. The screenplay is being written by Dave Callaham, who also wrote the 2014 Godzilla, along with story contributions with Destin Daniel Cretton and Kari Yoji Fukunaga, who helped shape the last movie's plot As for the cast, Dan Stevens is returning, and several new actors have joined, including Caitlin Dever, Sam Neill, and Jack O'Connell. In terms of the storyline, nothing has been revealed yet except for the title Supernova, which hints at something massive, possibly something from the cosmos like Gigan or Space Godzilla, or maybe even energy-based. This could mean a new alien enemy, a titan powered by energy or radiation, or even a catastrophic event involving Godzilla's atomic powers, him going supernova. The overall tone is expected to be epic and intense, but also continuing the pattern of action-packed monster battles that define the Monsterverse series of movies. However, it seems that fans of the G-Man are kinda tired of Godzilla being set off aside in the storyline, with his screen time being really limited as a sacrifice for Kong's limelight. Hope things would change, would be different, and also I might add, they should slow the pace down and add more weight to the fights. You know, actually big monsters should fight more slowly cause they're big. And maybe I'm just saying, add a little horror back to the monsters again, cause they kinda look like superheroes now, which they aren't cause they're monsters and forces of nature. Okay, ready for some more good news? Toho, the studio, has recently hinted that a sequel to Shin Godzilla might be in the works, but really nothing is official yet. But in a July interview with Bloomberg, Toho's international chief Koji Ueda mentioned that a follow-up to Shin Godzilla is being really considered as part of the studio's broader efforts to expand the Godzilla universe. This means that a sequel isn't confirmed yet, but it's just an idea that is really active and currently being discussed intensely by the studio's leadership. It is also worth noting that Toho is already fast-tracking a sequel to Godzilla Minus One, which may take production priority over any Shin Godzilla continuation. But it's still good news that this Shin Godzilla sequel is a possibility, a very likely possibility. As for the story, nothing is known yet, but since Shin Godzilla was only frozen in place back in the first film, the sequel, if it happens, would probably see this Godzilla evolve a mechanism to counter the coagulant, and then his fifth forms, which are humanoid, would probably begin to terrorize Japan. And since this Godzilla is all about the Red Queen hypothesis, you know, the evolutionary arms race, we might see it change in form again to adapt to the new challenges and environment. In short, a Shin Godzilla 2 is possible, but very early in the planning stages. Toho is thinking about it, really thinking about it, but nothing has been greenlit yet, so don't really put all your eggs in one basket, I'm just saying. Now next, the same company behind Godzilla recently launched a new initiative called Godzilla Southeast Asia Project. While some fans hoped this meant a brand new movie was on the way, the only actual content released so far was a short video. But even with that 55-second video, new energy has rushed in, and a probable larger project could be underway. This short film, titled 70 Years of Godzilla, A New Roar in Southeast Asia, was made in partnership with Thailand's Igloo Studio and served as a tribute to Godzilla's 70th anniversary. It shows Godzilla glowing with neon green dorsal fins or plates and green atomic glow, walking through famous Southeast Asian landmarks. The video was more of a visual montage than a story meant to celebrate Godzilla's long history and its cultural impact in Southeast Asia. But here is where things get really interesting. Toho is expanding more into Singapore, China, and the other Asian countries, which means that there could very well be an Asian Godzilla movie in the making soon. And that won't stop us from everywhere around the world from watching that show or movie and taking every G-Man in and loving them. Now let's go to the unconfirmed ones. There are some early signs that more Monsterverse TV shows could be coming in the future, but nothing has been officially confirmed or announced yet. When Apple TV Plus renewed Monarch Legacy of Monsters for a second season in early 2024, they also signed a deal with Legendary Entertainment to potentially create multiple spin-off series within the Monsterverse universe. That means there could be more shows set in the same world. One of the only concrete details so far is that Monarch showrunner Chris Black is working on a new Monsterverse project. He signed a 2-year deal with Legendary in September 2024, and he is currently writing a pilot script for one of these spin-off shows. However, there's no title, no cast, no plot, and no teaser or trailer available yet. Apple and Legendary haven't said anything with these new shows or what they will be about. Fans are guessing it could be something like a King Kong series, an animated Godzilla show, or maybe even a story set in a different time period of the Monsterverse timeline. But in the end, that's all speculation. However, when you think about it, when you sign a 2-year deal, that means there are signatures and black and white documents, which means this show would be a reality sooner or later. And we end here with a short film that will most likely be released this November 3rd on Godzilla Day. See, Japanese studio Toho typically celebrates by releasing a fun and nostalgic short live-action Godzilla film on their YouTube channel. These are called the Fest Godzilla Shorts, and they are made in the classic tokusatsu style, which means using people in monster suits and practical effects. Since the year 2020, they have released one each year, and fans really look forward to them. The most recent one, Fest Godzilla 5, which is called All Monsters Showdown, came out in 2024 and celebrated the 60th anniversary of King Ghidorah. These shots are usually taken down from YouTube a few weeks after they have been premiered, which adds to their special event feeling. Although Toho hasn't officially announced anything yet for 2025, fans are pretty sure there will be another one, Fest Godzilla 6, simply because it's becoming a tradition. And with that, we end this video. Now, if you like this one, then watch this other one too, the one in the end screens, and do check out our channel for other Dragon, Monsterverse, Godzilla and dinosaur content. We might have things you haven't seen before. Like, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. Take care, fam.